All right, welcome back to our Star Trek 50th Anniversary Challenge. We're on episode 8 now, and the title is Miri.
Yeah.
So we're starting that right now.
This is such a gross episode.
Well, one of the awesome things about this episode
Read down a little bit.
is that we get a lot of Yeoman Rand.
Yeah, well, I mean, with What Are Little Girls Made Of, being episode 7, just had a Nurse Chapel-centric episode, and then this is obviously a Yeoman Rand-centric episode.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fun.
Now we're approaching a world that looks a little different from the usual planets.
Nice color of, like, blue, yellow, red. All the way down.
He's like rattling off all these numbers, and they're like, I recognize those numbers.
This is so interesting.
I recognize those numbers.
Wow, some nice beauty lighting on
Yeah,
Yeoman
see?
Rand.
She knows. Yeah, it's Earth.
But another Earth.
Yes.
Because there can be more than one.
Mm-hmm.
Even though everything looks the same, and all apparently the components that make up that planet
Yeah,
are
the
identical to
continents
Earth.
are shaped
and
exactly the same.
why is it that Kirk's like, that can't be Earth? There's got to be another Earth.
Right, exactly. Because they know they're nowhere close to Earth. Now, I think this is kind of like an illustration of what Roddenberry called the parallel worlds concept, where part of the selling point of Star Trek, when he was trying to sell it to the network, was that they would travel to these parallel worlds, basically worlds which developed separately from Earth, but along parallel paths, so that they're very similar in various ways.
You could have planets that had like rifles and flintlocks and bows and
you go
arrows
to
or other
caveman
technology.
planets or cowboy planets or whatever like that. And the concept was the concept because they wanted. Ooh, look, it's italicized. That's weird.
Because it's a name.
Yeah. One of the reasons that this was such a selling point for them was because you'd save so much money in not having to create a brand new world every episode.
It's like, no. It's in space, but they're basically just going to go to locations that we can, like, just film here in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and we'll just be using costumes
budget.
from Western Costume and that kind of thing. Now, the problem with that is when you go to a world...
So is this like the Paramount lot, or is he...
Yeah.
Like...
This is just a back lot.
We know this is a studio lot somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And the problem with that is that you end up going to these planets where, oh look, it's exactly like Earth, but then they don't actually spend any time on why is this world exactly like Earth randomly.
What is important is that this is the first time, I believe, we're seeing Yeoman Rand as part of the landing party.
That's right. This is her first and only time.
And now the second appearance of having 2 red shirts down for security purposes. I am concerned for them. Greatly concerned. Well, given what happened last episode, now concerned for red shirts. Because we know these characters aren't expendable on screen at this very moment. The 2 no-name guys that just wandered off, they're probably screwed.
Yes, but the previous episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of, is the only episode we've had in the entire series so far in which red shirts have died.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to change.
You don't think that was an anomaly, huh?
Hey, dude, whose name I don't even know. Let's see how long you last. Seriously, is she wearing a corset, or is, like, she has to be wearing a corset?
Yeah, or a waist cincher or something. Yeah.
There's no way her body looks like that normally.
I know. She looks amazing.
I know. Spock is like, what is this?
He's got an hourglass figure and triangular boobs.
Yeah. Aww. Bones, being obviously the heart of the triumvirate, is already getting very... Oh my god, that's not good. He's already getting really...
Everybody's got a gun out. Somebody shoot somebody.
Is that a stunt guy?
Yeah, it's got...
Okay. Because the hair is, like, totally different.
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah, because we didn't see the guy's face.
Mm-hmm.
You never quite see the face when you should. You know it's a stunt guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we've all got phasers, and we can set him to stun, but let's just punch this guy until he falls down.
He is not looking good.
Aww.
Aww.
Yes, from the looks of it, somebody broke it a long time ago.
Aww.
Oh, I don't think he's gonna last.
Are you a medical doctor?
No.
Oh, I think
Oh.
I think he just died.
Yeah, I guess maybe I am a medical doctor.
Sure.
See, now he's holding the... They're doing the scanning without rubbing it all over people's
dead
body.
Because I'm pretty sure it's more or less a dude, and it's so weird. I feel like it's so weird for Bones to refer to as an it.
Mm-hmm.
A human as an it. Nobody runs like Shatner. Nobody.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing.
It's elegant. It's like a ballet.
I'll hide behind this tree so no one can see me.
We shouldn't see this much massive distance running.
Yeah.
That's really fun.
Uh-huh.
If it's on the ship or it's on a planet where they've built the set, you know, it's minimal movements, but...
You note how the main characters have their phases out, but it's just the little remote control type 1.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the red shirts have their full phaser and the gun belt.
Yeah. Because they actually mean business.
Mm-hmm. We say, as we've got our guns out.
I wonder why they're the choice production-wise to have them with the small phaser.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't hurt me. Okay, I won't. No, don't. Okay, I won't. No, don't. Okay, I won't.
Are you tired of her already? Did you see the guy outside?
Yeah.
You're really wondering?
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a practical thing where, well, we only got a couple of these phasers and a couple of these, so we'll just give you whatever we've got on hand.
Well, no one has been watching that at all.
Oh, a convenient little hole to look at her.
For me.
You grups. That's racist.
Well, not literally us.
Yeah. But they don't realize it. Because she doesn't know the rules.
These kids and all are slang these days. I can just not keep up.
I know.
Has there ever been a generation that used Grups? Because there was a Rents during my growing up, which I never used, and I hate so much.
Rents.
The Rents. But Grups seems like Grups would have been fun to use. Mm-hmm. I like to think it also implies they're grumpy. Yeah. Even though it's grown-ups, but yeah, also because of the grup part of it.
I think of them as coffee makers. You know, those Krups.
Yeah, some really bad stuff has happened on this planet.
Yeah.
And you're not wearing hazmat suits for anything.
Yeah, it pretty much gave that up. Because after Naked Time, they were like, well, we sent them down with hazmat suits, but it still came up with the plague, so I guess they don't work. I think that's the reasoning.
Sure.
Because he died before he could tell them, well, the problem is I'm complete incompetent, and I took off my gloves.
To touch my face.
Right. So Spock is probably like, well, no reasonable person would take off a hazmat suit.
Her name is the name of the episode!
Oh, shit! Oh.
He's being nice. Oh. Okay, that's not a little creepy.
Well, it's because he's got the romance lighting on his face.
Yeah.
Now, the actress, I think her name is Kim Darby, she is only 18 years old.
Oh, yeah?
So she's not that far off from the 14-year-old she's playing.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
Not how it usually is, where it's totally like a 30-year-old playing 15-year-old.
Right.
Which we're going to see soon, aren't we? Right. And it's going to be so bad.
And the interesting thing is that this is her first role as a legal adult. So, this is the first time. They're just guards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting, not to say secured. I guess that hadn't really been established.
Yeah. Guards!
Like, why not say their names?
Take them away!
Ensign this or Lieutenant that.
Yeah. I guess it would be ensigns.
Yeah, they don't have ranks, so they're pretty low.
Yeah. Set phasers to taunt!
Oh! Children are just the worst.
They are the worst. Also, don't they have scanners? This seems like a good time to be using them.
I don't know if I should see Spock's face as, like, growing up he's having flashbacks of, like, little dick children that he experienced.
Little Vulcan children taunting him.
Or if he, isn't familiar with that, because that's not how Vulcan children tease, and he's just like, what is going on?
Right. They're clearly humans saying things, but they make no sense.
Oh, he's such a good charmer of women and children.
Come on, you can take me. You're so pretty.
I would absolutely follow him anywhere. Wouldn't you?
If you were a little dirt-faced child?
And if I
was I'm sure you would.
Old lady.
Yes, I'm sure that's true too.
He's just an excellent captain. And this is why.
Because he knows when to turn on the charm.
Yes, he knows how to deal with people.
Mm-hmm. Ew.
He's like, oh, that's not good. My space herpes is flaring up. Aww. He's like, why don't you stop touching me?
Come on, he's used to having space herpes.
He is not okay with what is happening.
No, he's clearly not. But that's why he's got his doctor with him. Automatic transmission.
Oh, that would go all up in your face. Well, la-di-da, Mr. Spock, and your hybrid DNA.
Gross. They're all diseased.
Yeah. Where the heck is Uhura? Why is she
maybe she's on break.
But why is she just absent from this episode?
She can't be on duty 24 hours.
No, but why is she not here? Yes, I understand there's like the alpha, beta, gamma ship rotations and everything, yes. But still. He's special. He just loves digging that in every time.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that's okay with everything McCoy says is everything that Spock will say in response.
He's like, what do you mean, old? Meanwhile, they're using, like, all this old, disgusting, gross lab equipment that's been sitting there for hundreds of years.
Yeah, all super dusty.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that what's going on with this episode is the kind of storyline that like never will go out of date.
Yeah, man trying to play God and instead bringing on their own apocalypse.
Try to extend the natural human life cycle.
Mm-hmm. But it worked, sort of, kind of.
In a horrible, horrible way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, which is what we have now, like with all of our technology and people living longer. It's like, you know, everyone's getting all sorts of different diseases, namely like cancer at a certain age because
we're living longer than we used to.
Yeah, you can usually die before that would just show up on you.
Mm-hmm. We've got like the world's narrowest toaster.
As if that doesn't happen to Vulcans. Like, the way he asks implies that like Vulcans don't have like Vulcan puberty. Gonna be like, you guys like have some glandular changes, right? That's a thing for you. That's a weird, gross thing.
Making sure he's not making assumptions that are incorrect. They don't.
Yeah. Because they're all like, okay, if these kids are growing up, hit puberty, and then die, then how are 300 years later, some of them still around? And none of them say the actual thing they're all thinking, which is, they're not having sex as children, are they? Because that's clearly what they all just, like, didn't say in the conversation. Because they're like, they really don't want to think about that and don't want to consider it at all. Because if that was the case, and that was a girl, Miri, who was born wild 14 years ago into a society like this, then why would she instantly feel like safe around legitimate adults?
Yeah.
So many questions.
Yeah.
What even is that supposed to be?
It's a computer.
What I love about Nimoy is that, with anything he's doing, he has, like, determined, like, what buttons to hit and why.
Right. He's your total method actor. He is not just pressing random buttons.
If you were to do that scene, like, 5 times, he would hit the same buttons every time, because that's what the buttons you're supposed to hit for the given action. That is crazy. Whoopsie doodles.
That would be a negative side effect.
Yeah. Does that mean these kids have only aged 3 months?
Sounds like it, because they keep saying that they were 300 years ago. So it's a little bit of, like, Lord of the Flies going on, and then a little bit of the whole... Like, it's the mid to late 60s, you've got the rise of the youth movement, and the whole don't trust anybody over 30. So, maybe a little bit of a criticism of that going on.
But, like, what would happen to your mind? Because you are still living 100 years. Like, and the brain isn't meant to deal with that or comprehend that. So it's like, sure, great. Physically, they're only getting a month older, but, like, mentally.
But they're not maturing mentally.
They're not maturing mentally, but, like, a child mind stuck in that mode for 300 years. Like, how are they just not all legitimately crazy?
Yeah.
Aww, she's got a crush on the captain.
Aww.
And your woman Rand's like, that's my territory.
Yeah.
It's like, she's a child.
No, you didn't.
Don't be jealous of a child. Okay, maybe she should be concerned, actually, about her hit on the captain. I'm going to get this wrong from whatever class I had in college way back when that was on horror fiction and film. But there's something called like a turn screw scenario or theory.
The turn of the screw?
Yeah. On how it's basically like when you use children in horror stories. Like, there's just this innate creepiness about kids when you have them in really scary situations where they're like the ones acting normal, or when they're conveying like the message of the ghost or something. There's something really creepy about children behaving in these like unnatural and scary ways. Like, nothing's creepier.
Yeah.
Like, you have an adult do it, it's not the same. You like have a child like be possessed and speak the words like of a demon, and that like will freak you right out.
Right.
And I've always felt that about this episode, despite this dude clearly being like in his 30s or 40s playing a child.
I think that's Michael Pollard.
What?
He was at the time of this episode, he was 27 years old playing a 14-year-old.
And that unfortunate child who, like, I have never wanted to say that a child has a horse or donkey face. That poor other child legitimately has what I assume people refer to as a donkey face, and I hope he grew out of it. But Anyway, back to the turn of the screw, thing. It's just, that's what I feel here is, you have children behaving in these kind of unnatural, creepy ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great way to make people uneasy.
Right. It amplifies the creepiness just because they are children.
Yeah, I'm not fond of this episode because they're so... Ugh, It's like, the children. Ugh, no, thank you. Also because they're straight up little dicks. Like, they're not nice.
That's kids.
They're not nice at all.
Kids are dicks.
Miri's nice, but maybe that's because she's about to go into puberty. But these little kids, not at all.
Well, I mean, that 27-year-old is also about to go into puberty. Because he's supposed to be the same age as Miri.
Oh, God, that's not good. So do you think that was a stunt actor or stunt actress on him that he had to fling off?
Probably a stunt actress.
He was flailing around something awesome.
That was weird. Did you see the phaser beam? It was like, ooh.
Yeah, she's dead. Nope, she's breathing. But I guess she's supposed to be dead. Yeah. And no one told her to hold her breath.
Oh, poor Louise.
Oh. I mean, obviously the older kids are aware to some extent that...
Yeah, when you get to a certain age...
There's something happening.
You're gone.
Not gonna lie, I miss those type of pencil sharpeners.
Mm-hmm. They did work pretty well.
Yeah.
I always preferred the mechanical pencil, though. Click a couple buttons, keep on writing.
You're good to go.
Yeah. See, they never addressed the fact, obviously, that the shape of the continents is exactly like Earth.
Uh-huh.
They also don't address the fact that...
Oh, it's getting worse.
Like, this colony of people, they're not from Earth. Because 300 years ago, it would have been our time,
Mm-hmm.
And so we weren't sending colonists out to other planets. This is clearly... like a world which has developed parallel to our own.
That's already implied by Kirk saying it's another Earth.
Right. Meanwhile, Spock's just like reading their notes, reading their handwritten notes.
Oh, you're like, how is it they also developed English and stuff?
Yeah.
I'll just assume he's amazing, or they have a text version of the literary translator, a literal translator, or whatever. Universal translator. I'll just assume that there is a universal translator that works on the written word.
Yeah.
That is
sure.
that is my retconning that situation making sense.
I might believe it if they had the universal translator and he was looking through it or something, but he's not.
So getting old.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Got any purple on you? Well, that's not good.
Oh, man.
Oh, I love Spock's eyeshadow.
They never come with any supplies. That's how they end up with Sulu freezing on a planet. You know?
How do you prepare for something like this? See, McCoy showing some official black undershirt there.
Yeah, that's true. He's got the unzipped
tunic.
Yeah, the unzipped tunic.
So does Kirk, and he ain't wearing no undershirt.
Right, he's not doing the undershirt.
Because the captain rolls sexy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no undergarments for him.
Uh-huh.
That's what that means.
Is that just them sort of like unbuttoning their collar, rolling up their sleeves a little,
right?
Just to get a little comfortable? It's like, even if you can wrap your head around the fact that these kids are 300 years old, just because they've got extended lifespans.
Yeah.
It's like, who's feeding these kids?
That's a good question, because the food is not lasting 300 years, and they're not figuring out agricultural means.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate him. I hate him because he's, like, totally an adult. I just want to smush his face so hard.
You're so bothered by a 27-year-old, 14-year-old.
Yeah, I don't mind hating on him since he was an actual adult. Like, it feels bad to, like, hate on any actual little child actor in this.
Well, having the kids seemed to be, like, a perfect opportunity for, like, Shatner and Roddenberry to have their kids in the show. Because...
did they?
Yeah, because Shatner had 2 of his daughters on the show.
Oh, that's cute.
In this episode, and so did Roddenberry. 2 of his kids.
Do you know which ones they are, to point them out?
I'm not absolutely sure. We'll see when we get the crowd scene. But at one point, he holds a child.
Oh, okay, that must be the
and
little
that's
blonde
one of
girl.
his daughters.
One of his own?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Somehow there's been enough food for 300 years, but then it's magically
just running out right now.
Running out.
Just like they just happened to get here when 2 of the kids were dying of the disease.
Oh, McCoy's getting pissy.
He's testy.
That's not good. Oh! He did that on purpose.
Freaking out.
She held it together until that moment.
And
has officially lost it.
And she's like, this is pretty much what I said was going to happen. All of this has happened before. All of it will happen again.
He's not interested in seeing that, man.
Yeah.
That's not appropriate. He's your superior officer. That feels like a trap.
Yeah!
She says look and then she covers it all. So, like, what's the point of that?
He saw enough.
I like to think that it's the madness that is her saying something so inappropriate as to be like, I have totally been getting to try to look at my body.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he's not even actually holding her the way he does women he's interested in. It's very like they're there, pat pat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really gonna touch you the way I do other women.
Yeah.
Oh, way to go, McCoy.
McCoy. Ah.
Yeah, the reason they're all here having this problem.
It's gonna be okay.
Man, she's giving him some love eyes. My goodness.
Yeah, now who's jealous?
Yeah. She's finally hitting puberty and feeling jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
don't know why in the world they would want to use, like, a 30-year-old actor to play a kid. When, like, clearly everyone here, else in the group, are actual children.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, her being 18 is, I'd say, normal.
Yeah.
So, like, why not another, like, kid that was basically 18 or 20? Like, 27? Like, come on. And he looks it.
Well, he is famous for playing these younger kid roles.
Because he's shorter?
Because he's got, like, around kind of a youthful face, I guess, you know? Ooh.
She does not play nice.
Well, none of these kids really.
These children are discussing murder.
Yeah. But they don't grasp the concept of murder.
I feel like they do.
Alright, they do a little bit.
I feel like they legit do, and this whole thing with the nya 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 and the bonk bonk is, like, horrifying, and I hate them all so much.
Just take it all.
They're so polite working together, you know?
Mm-hmm. They're trying to hold it together. At least McCoy is.
So now Yeoman Rand has mysteriously gone missing.
Mm-hmm.
He somehow immediately knows that Miri is involved. I just love that response. Like, are you kidding me? None of this is okay.
Don't you see how sweaty I am?
I kind of love all of them being bitchy like this, because it obviously just doesn't usually happen in any other episode.
Mm-hmm. This is how they would be at the end of their 5-year mission.
Yes.
They're just over each other completely.
And cranky.
Yeah.
I love how here you can tell how many times that the insignia has been pulled off and
definitely.
Because that velour is showing signs like of
the stitch lines.
Yeah, the stitch track marks.
Mm-hmm.
Where it had been over like a good quarter of an inch or something.
Yeah. The stitch marks, which they clearly did not bother to follow.
No. I mean, it's right there. You obviously could.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're talking about you, Miri.
That seems lame. Like, as if literally the moment you hit puberty, you stop enjoying fun.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds awful.
Yeah. Well, I think it was true of me. I pretty much stopped enjoying fun when I hit puberty.
Oh!
Oh my god! She's got it! She's got the tusses!
I think this girl's a great actress in this episode.
Yeah.
I mean, she gets the only opportunity of, obviously, the kids to have emotional range, because they're just all supposed to be these terrible, awful, evil children.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the one getting to be in this denial phase and then have to face reality, but have this conflict of loyalty and everything. Is
a
lot of different aspects of her character.
We're gonna bonk bonk on the head. Oh, snap!
She brought a grump! I love how loosely tied Yeoman Rand is to that chair. I'm pretty sure if she unflexed her arms, that like the rope would just come off.
They would just fall off.
Yeah. Yeah, this makes me want to knock over a child. He wants to punch them so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Just
flings him to the ground.
That poor child.
We clearly remember the whole police teacher thing from like 300 years ago.
Yeah, apparently. That never went away.
No. Blah, blah, blah.
That has to be just one of the best lines that he has ever had to utter.
Mm-hmm.
No, blah, blah, blah. It's said in such seriousness. Because it is serious.
Yeah.
He's making such a beautiful, impassioned speech here.
Yeah.
To these children. And they're just awful.
Yes. Because they're kids. Aww. Now, obviously, it's noteworthy to have Shatner's daughters on, like, in the episode, and Roddenberry's kids in the episode.
Yeah.
But to me, the most interesting kids are there's a little boy and a little girl. They're both African American.
Mm-hmm.
And they are the children of Greg Morris, who's one of the stars of Mission Impossible.
Oh, really?
And the reason I think they're interesting is that they each grew up to appear in Star Trek again.
In the movies, or?
Well, the little girl appeared in a couple episodes of Voyager, and she's a fairly accomplished voice actress now.
Oh, that's cool.
And the little boy is Phil Morris, who not only appeared briefly in Star Trek 3...
Oh, he just got beat by kids, and he is bleeding all over the place.
He's not looking that great.
No.
Oh, that's disgusting.
These Starfleet uniforms just...
Yeah, they just fall apart the moment you tug at them.
They're just not made well. So is that one of his kids, or is that the end of the episode? So I thought maybe the little blonde one was one of his.
I don't think that's one of his, but I could be
wrong. I
wrong.
thought the blonde one who actually has like greenish hair too was...
Yeah.
In the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is.
Yeah, because there was a camera pan that stayed on her, which I thought unusual unless you're someone special.
Mm-hmm.
His name's John.
John,
but with an H in the subtitles.
Yeah. Yeah, you see the little African American kid with the army helmet on?
That poor child.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
that's the second time he gets thrown around in this episode.
There were like no child labor laws or workers' comp back then, were there?
Apparently, they didn't care.
Kid has got his like
see,
arm wrenched out
right
of his
there,
socket.
little African American kid.
That little boy.
That's Phil Morris. Not only did he appear briefly in Star Trek 3.
And there's a little girl.
Yeah, not only did he appear briefly in Star Trek 3, he was also in Smallville as the Martian Manhunter.
Oh, wow.
He was on Seinfeld as Jackie Childs, the Johnny Cochran parody. He's done a lot of stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, those hypo sprays. I love them.
So it's cool that they kind of went full circle and came back to Star Trek.
There was actual liquid in that one too, because I really felt that usually it's just a colored.
Oh yeah,
acrylic,
colored cylinder.
you know?
Yeah.
But that totally had a liquid in it.
Yep. Progress. He's getting desperate.
Well, the fastest way to know is if you just test it now.
No. Without the proper calculations, that could be a vial of pure death. He's not a fool. He wouldn't do something so
but
desperate.
But he's mildly crazy right now.
He's a scientist.
He's mildly crazy.
He's a doctor.
Right,
He's not going to do... Oh my god, he did it! Oh no! It could be a vial of death.
Oh. He's acting like it's a vial of death.
Yes. He's definitely giving us vial of death face.
I like how he screams for Spock. And he's like, I done fucked up! Also, this whole time we have not seen the red shirts. Until, like, just now again.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get involved at all in the we're all going crazy and getting purple herpes all over us.
Yeah. That's because there's the deleted scene where there's just the two red shirts and they're like, oh man, do you see that stuff growing all over the captain? I am not going in there.
Like, they should totally have stuff all over them, and they don't.
Like, that could be contagious. I'm not getting anywhere close to that.
They should be all flush and sweaty, and they're not. And
yeah.
See, he's holding different children at different times. It's hard to
Yeah, I think that one is one of his.
The one he just held?
Yeah, the one that he was just holding.
Look at his beautiful face.
That's not what he said.
He was thinking it. I love that. Now, when you're doing an effect like that in 60s TV editing, was it that someone had to go in while they were holding his head in place and, like, remove the makeup a little bit at a time?
Right. Or they would do it where just hold his face, and I'll go in and apply the makeup step by step.
So it's one or other where it's
right.
reverse or film the action.
Mm-hmm.
And then reverse it.
Yeah.
Spock's like, son of a gun. To just try stuff on yourself.
Yeah. So when you see, if you pay attention, as the blemishes are fading, you can also see, like, where his hands are subtly shifting position.
Yeah. You can't hold him for that long.
Right. He's contacted like... Space Central. Who is Space Central? I love that at this point, we're 8 episodes in, they still haven't nailed down the terminology yet. Whether it's Starfleet, it's no, contact Space Central.
I just love the clear flashbacks Kirk was already having when he's all like, just children my ass. Like, you beat the crap out of me.
Yeah. They made me bleed my own blood! And Farrell is still in Uhura's seat.
Yep. So I feel like what I like most about that episode is I do love watching the Miri actress and the kind of range level she gets to do as an actress.
Mm-hmm.
And, getting to see some interactions with Spock and McCoy, but otherwise I'm just not into that episode.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites either.
And I always attribute it to the children. I'm just not into nasty children who are 300 years old.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of television children. I'm not a big fan. I feel like the pacing on that episode's not that great. Mm-hmm. But I do like things like we get a more active role for Yeoman Rand. And she even gets that breakdown moment where she's like, talking about how she, trying to get the captain's attention.
Yeah, I mean, because they were clearly going somewhere with her character at that point when they were writing, which unfortunately changes in the near future.
Yes, exactly. So, it's not my favorite, but still, I enjoy watching it more than most television.
Yeah, or season 3.
Yeah. Well, I can't complain too much about season 3. I liked a lot of those episodes. All right, so that was episode 8, Miri, and join us again next time for Dagger of the Mind.